What's going on, guys? Got Coach G here. Got AJ Gregory with me, softball player at Iowa Western. First episode of the G Code, for the athlete, by the athlete. So you guys hear me talk all the time. You guys hear all your other coaches talk, whether it's club, high school, college, whatever it may be. It's time for the athletes to talk to the athlete. It's just a different type of atmosphere, different type of connection with an athlete versus a coach to an athlete. So AJ, I appreciate it. I've been training at AJ for, it's been almost 5 weeks now. Hasn't it? So she came in this summer, going to her freshman year for Iowa Western softball. So, dude, you're gonna knock it out of the park this spring. I can't wait. So it's funny. So before we even start recording, we're gonna talk about a lot about what contributes to her success, and then a lot of other athletes in later episodes. But we were just talking about competitiveness and that. So we want to kind of just keep on going with that.
Like, I definitely think like being competitive, like that's what gets you where you need to be. Just because if you're sitting back and you're not going after and being complacent with where you are, like you're never going to get better. You're never going to reach where you want to be. And like, especially I feel like a lot of good athletes get complacent because they're at the top, and so they get complacent with where they are rather than always trying to get better, you know? And like, that's why, like, for me, like surrounding myself with people that are better than me really pushes me, because then I'm chasing after trying to be not just as good as them, but better than they are when they're already better than me.
Right.
So like surrounding yourself with people that are more competitive, and maybe not more competitive, but they've had more success. I think like definitely who you surround yourself with is what contributes to your success.
Well, like we were saying earlier, and we won't go into detail about it, but it's funny, like if you're a part of a team that you know that some of the girls aren't as competitive, or some of your other teammates aren't as competitive, you know, I guess it kind of go back to the weakest link of the chain. It's going to make the team weaker.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like you try to contribute your competitiveness to others, and sometimes it's good feedback, sometimes it's negative.
Yeah, you know? And I definitely think like, obviously a team, if they're all successful, it's because of the work ethic and the drive. Like if you have people that aren't wanting to work as hard, and yeah, they like the sport, but they're not passionate about it, and they're not putting in all that time and extra time on top of your other practices, like you're just going to be average. Like you're never going to reach the success and the goals you want. And I think definitely like what else contributes to my success is like goals. Like I'm definitely a big goal person. Like obviously you want to set ones that are attainable, and like I try to set little ones that like I can reach, like so that I'm always working towards it, because I feel like if I set one too far in advance, then you lose your focus. Rather than if you set a short one, small period of time, you can keep your focus and like tunnel vision on that goal, and then attain it and then restart for a new one.
Right. So if we have an athlete who's watching this or listening to this and they're struggling to deal with competitiveness, what's some advice you would give them?
I would just say like push yourself in all aspects, and like always try to get better, and no matter what you're doing, try to find ways that you can improve it. Like even like as a hitter, like I've had a lot of success hitting, but there's so many weak parts of my swing that I can focus on that aren't the big parts of my swing, but it's like focus on little things, like try to break it down. Or like running, like I can run fast, but my form needs more work. So like, yeah, I can get somewhere, but am I getting there with the best form, where if I have better form, it can make me faster? So like focus on little things, and then try to really like hammer them to be the best.
You know, I think one thing with your competitiveness, like earlier we just did a big workout, and you know how vocal all three of us were, and so we had another Iowa Western athlete in here as well. How vocal we all were with each other, like we were pushing heavy ass weight, you know, and seeing a workout, our legs are dead. You know, it's just, to us, it comes natural. It's like, hey, like if I see somebody who's working hard, like I'm gonna push them.
Well, and that's the thing, like that's like surrounding yourself with people that want to be competitive and want the same goals, and because then that pushes you. Like you guys both lift heavier than me, clearly, but like I want to lift just as much as you guys. So like even though I'm not there yet, like it pushes me to get better. Right. So like people that are better than you, they're gonna push you.
Right, definitely. No, I agree with you 100%. I feel like that's one thing a lot of parents ask me is, well, how do I instill that with my kid? It's like, for one, it just takes time.
Yeah, and I think the kid has to want it for themselves.
Definitely.
The parent can't want it. If the parent wants it, the kid's going to be average.
Or tries to force it.
Yeah, they're gonna be average, and they're gonna burn out of it. Especially like I see that a lot in like summer softball. Like you have a lot of burnouts because parents push it too hard. The kid has to want to be passionate about it, and especially to go on to play college ball. You can't be playing college ball if you don't want to be there. Right. There's no way. Like
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. No,
I tell that everybody who walks through the door, like whether they're in middle school or high school, like this shit's about to get real.
Yeah.
And, like you may not like it's. Yeah,
and I don't think parents realize that.
No,
like,
they
I
don't.
don't think like it's a whole different grind. It's a whole different type of way to play it. Like you're 24/7. You're always doing it, and the athlete has to want it because you're the one there putting in the work. So you have to love it for yourself, and you have to want to get better.
Definitely. No, I agree with you so much. So, what's the number one thing you contribute all of your success to? Is it the competitiveness, or is it like the nutrition, the training, your coaches?
I would say my training because, like I'm always wanting to be in the weight room like all the time, and like that's just where I feel like, even though I'm not like, I would honestly say weight training even more than my hitting lessons. Like
You are a meathead, dude. She's a big meathead.
like I love being in the
Oh, I
gym.
love it though.
And so like I would say that because it teaches you mental toughness. Like
Definitely.
and I would say mental toughness, especially for my sport, actually all sports, football even, like all sports, it's mental toughness. Like so I think the weight room is where you learn that because you're doing like I'm doing reps of weight that like today we squatted 225 5 times and I've never done that in my life and I was like there's no way I can do that. But once you do that, like you realize you just have to do it and you have to push yourself
Right.
to those extents that you're uncomfortable doing. So like if you can do that in your sport, if you can push yourself to do those extra things that you're uncomfortable doing in your sport, making that diving catch that you didn't think you could make, like it's mental toughness, like to do the things that you don't think you can do. So I think you learn that in the weight room.
Right. So the key point basically just being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to be good enough or ever reach success if you can't be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
Because you're always going to be complacent. You're always going to be in the same spot.
Well, I feel like so many people, when they become uncomfortable, I feel like there is either two. I mean, it's like the fight or flight. They're either going to go with it and keep going, or they're going to stay back and be like, I don't know, this is for me.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's not like college sports, you know, professional sports and stuff, club sports, for that matter nowadays. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. No,
You
it's
know?
definitely
And
not.
I tell
for
people
everyone.
that.
It's not. But if it is for you, like, it's the best time of your life.
It is. It is. Well, I think that's what's cool about, you know, all the different levels of college, you know, like just because they're NAIA, JUCO, D1, D2, D3, like, yeah, they're all different levels of, you know, sometimes genetics plays a big role in it.
Yep.
You know, you're going to have to work hard at every level, you know, but, you know, I guess the punchline is they're all going to make you feel uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, there's a lot of hate on JUCO.
There's so much hate on it.
There's a lot of hate
I
on
love JUCO.
Oh, I could not be happier.
If I could go
went
back,
JUCO.
I would have done JUCO like that.
I'm so happy I went JUCO. But
Why?
also, it's different. It's a stepping stone to get you in the place where you want to be, and they really set you up for success. Like, I thought in high school, and a lot of people that I've played with have the same mentality that I had that in high school. I have to go D1, I have to go D1. That's what your parents push, that's what coaches push, that's
What
what
the media
everyone,
pushes,
everyone pushes it.
Peer
If you don't
pressure,
go
everything.
D1, then
You're
you're not
nobody.
good enough, you're nobody, yeah. And so when I committed JUCO, there was a lot of hate, like, oh, why'd you commit JUCO? Why would you do that? Like, wait for that offer. But JUCO was the best decision I could have made. I love it. Like, you, especially like Iowa Western, like you're at a D1. It feels like you have D1 facilities, D1 coaching. They're pushing you the same that I feel like I would be getting pushed at a D1.
Right.
They're there to train you to get to your step that you want to be, whether that's D1 or not. But like personally, they know I've had conversations with my coach. I want to go D1, so they're going to push me so that I can make it there.
Right.
And it's a really good stepping stone. And I would recommend JUCO for a lot of people. It's cheaper, and you're playing rather than going to a D1 and sitting your first 2 years
Right.
and not getting better.
You just seen the weight room and never
Yeah,
seen
and
the
you're
playing time. Right?
and the weight, like I said, the weight room really contributes. Obviously, you're still practicing, but like being in a game is so different than practicing. You can go take
Couldn't agree more.
backhands all day, you can go swing all day, but being in a game, it's a different mentality. You have different like things that are gonna affect outcomes. To where like if you're not playing for 2 years, I don't personally think that you can get the full experience. You're not getting the best experience you could because you're not on the field experiencing all that.
Right.
So like JUCO for me, like I could have gone to a D1, but would I be playing right away? No.
Right.
So like at a JUCO, I can go play, I can get better, I can fix up what I need
You
to
develop
do.
more.
Yeah, you definitely develop more, and you have the time
Yeah.
to develop.
And that's, a lot of parents ask me that, and I've trained a lot of JUCO kids, and they've gone on to even play D1, and they're the same way. Like they contribute so much to going JUCO, on the developmental side. And honestly, a lot of it's social too. Like, for you, you're a little bit closer to home, which is obviously nice, but you try not to go home as much.
Yeah.
But for kids who might have social anxiety, and when you go to a D1 school like University of Nebraska.
Yeah, it's huge.
You get this big campus, people from all over the world go there. Like, academic-wise, it's at a next level
So
and everything.
one-on-one.
So there's so much stress involved in that first semester. Like dropout rates are like this. So I think JUCO is a great option. It's just a stepping stone.
It really is. It's 100% a stepping stone. You get into your schedule, you get your classes. My class sizes are never bigger than like 25.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's really one-on-one.
Yeah, my first class at UNL was a psychology class. And they had it, I think, at the theater. There was like 400 kids.
Yeah, I know. Like
that was terrifying.
Iowa State, like all the freshman classes, it's like 600 kids.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine.
Right. And that's what's nice is like when you go off to that next level, whether it is D1, D2, or whatever, and you're a junior, senior, whatever, maybe even a sophomore, you're going to be in a higher level class, and so you're not going to go into those freshman classes or whatever.
They'll be smaller.
They'll be smaller. You might be like 30, 40. But there's the change with the transition will be a lot more smooth. I think.
Well, and I think like a definite like big topic that I would touch on like for other people is like don't be so focused on like media and all of the people around you, your coaches, your parents, your friends. You don't have to go D1. You want to go what fits you. You want to go based on location. Like I always thought I wanted to go really far from home, and actually being close to home has been pretty nice. I don't go home that much, but like It's nice to have the option to go home.
Right. The security.
And like for my next school, I do want to go far away, but it's because I've experienced being close to home.
Definitely.
And like I'm already in my routine for college. Like I feel comfortable being on my own, but like I can understand where it would be really hard at first. So like definitely like be conscious of your location, and like another beneficial thing is like I still have friends close, so like you're not in a totally new city where you don't know anyone. Make sure like academics wise, like you're okay if you go to a D1, you're okay with a big class size, or if you go to a small school, like if you need that extra academic help, like you want that one-on-one, academics are really hard for you, then you can go to the tutors. And if it's a smaller school, your teachers will be able to conversate with you. At my school, like I can email my teachers and they email me back within 20 minutes, or I can go talk to my teacher at any time. Like it's super easy. And I would say also think about like your major. Don't focus so much on your sport, because honestly that's what I was really focused on in high school was, what's the biggest name that I could wear on my jersey? Like where's the biggest school that I could possibly go?
Right.
Which in reality, softball especially, like your time's limited. Your time's limited.
People look at the cloud for
and you need to focus on your major, because that's really the big picture. That's what you're gonna
for
be.
softball, definitely.
Yeah, like you have to have a major. You're not gonna be able to play softball forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like focus on a school that allows you to play the game you love, but also is really beneficial in your major.
Definitely. Cool, dude. That's awesome. Any last pieces of advice? Any tips?
Make sure you really, really like your coaches and really want to work hard for them, because those people are getting paid and they're paying you, and you need to be putting in as much work as you can for them, because they're your boss, basically.
Pretty much.
They're your boss, and
your boss and your dad and your uncle.
You need to work your butt off for them. And so for me personally, it's really hard to work my butt off for someone that I don't respect. So make sure you have an immense amount of respect for your coaches, and that you really are ready to go lay it all out for them.
Definitely. Well, that's that last piece. That's one thing I valued at Nebraska was, if the girls worked really hard, whether it was in the academic or on the field, the coaches were going to work even harder. So they go hand in hand.
Exactly. And if you're not willing to work hard for your coach, you can't expect your coach to be out there working hard for you.
And a lot of people expect that.
Yeah.
It's sad. And you guys.
And I think another thing with like our generation and like right now is like a lot of people are really they're okay with things being handed to them, and they count on things being handed to them. And I think that's where like your competitiveness needs to kick in, and you should want to go get it for yourself. You should focus on what you want, because if you're waiting for someone to hand it to you, then you're putting your success in someone else's hands. Whereas if you do it yourself, then your success is in your hands, and you can go reach anything you want.
Definitely.
So
Cool. No, I appreciate it. So awesome, guys. First episode was an awesome one. So maybe I'm gonna put all the YouTube links in there. I'll put your roster thing on there, and I'll put the schedule.
perfect.
So cool. Appreciate it, dude.
Go Reavers.